My warm thoughts and greetings to all of you, dear Assumptionists, together with your parents, guardians, relatives, and friends. I hope this orientation program finds you all in good spirits, in a happy and healthy condition despite the multifaceted challenges that we are all confronting. The new academic year is now around the bend. It has finally arrived. I am quite sure that this is a welcome news to us all who have been so confined to our home activities in the past almost second tertile of the year. We all cannot wait for school to begin, in whatever mode it can be. Teachers have been impatient, parents have been edgy, and I'm fairly sure that these are multiplied to the highest exponent in the case of students like you. God has been good to us, despite our strange situation. We have all found a way to continue moving. I strongly believe that no pandemic can deter or even dampen our spirits. FYI, we at UA have not stopped working, planning, and preparing for this new normal in our educational system. We stand by the principle that you, our dear students, partners, and stakeholders, deserve nothing less. One thing that kept me personally inspired and moving in this pandemic that we are all into is this text from St. Paul in his letter to the Galatians. Let us not grow tired of doing good, for in due time we shall reap our harvest, if we do not give up. Galatians 6 verse 9. God wants us to keep going, to keep moving by all means possible. For those who do, harvest awaits. How can such a time-tested aphorism be questioned? Martin Luther King Jr. captures this graphically when he said, "If you cannot fly, then run. If you can't run, then walk. If you can't walk, then crawl. But by all means, keep moving." Nowadays, many of us are crawling. It is never easy, but it is a sign of life and of hope. Perhaps that is how I can summarize UA in the time of pandemic. The school administration has been sitting down since early March to push for finding strategies that would somehow fit into the bizarre picture of the pandemic should the next academic year start in August. We have been thinking out loud and steadily mumbling on flexible learning as the new challenge in UA education, hence the birth of our UAFlex, short for University of the Assumption Flexible Learning Experience. The Commission on Higher Education, or CHED as we know it more, in many of its programs often mentions the 4 P's in the proposition of excellent educational services, namely program, people, product, and partnerships. UA, with its solid long-time university experience, has always been proud about its own 4 P's. Our programs are secondary to none in terms of relevance and responsiveness, especially in our local context. We continue to move forward with much research and cautiousness in offering assistance to community and nation building. People, we certainly have the right people for the job. We have taken good care of our human assets and have been excessively vigilant and critical about our screening and admission of our human capital. At UA, we trust our people. We also continue to boast our UA product. Community players who are biyasa, maganaka, and mayap. Graduates who are academically competent, morally upright, and socially responsible. Our products, with the help of God, are destined to be good and conscientious citizens of our country and Catholics who will shine in their leadership potentials. And so, we will continue to partner with you, with the government, with industries, with the church in our pursuit for quality and greatness in our educational service. We partner with the right people and institutions. When you enroll at UA, you can count on our tireless efforts to bring these 4 P's: program, people, product, partnerships to their grandest pinnacles. This is what we can all expect from the UAFlex, and even more. We look ever more deeply into three components in our educational system: content knowledge, pedagogy, and technology. Ironically, the pandemic has ushered us forward and, like a time machine, transported us hurriedly into the future, perhaps 5 to 10 years or even more into the future, to get us into the demands of the so-called Fourth Industrial Revolution. The digital age has come to us as a blessing from a curse, and we well must respond to it proactively. Let's consider this new normal in education as a big step for mankind, or at least for a country, the Philippines, to be at par with the rest of the world in terms of systems advancement. If there is anything I am grateful for in this unexpected episode in our life, it is this. UAFlex promises to get you there, dear students. We will make do not only with what is available, but also attempt together to uplift whatever we have at present. You, dear students, more than anyone else, are actually ready and perhaps more suited to perform in these flexible learning strategies. As digital natives, you are the legitimate citizens of this virtual university of ours. This orientation is provided for you, but the coming days will be occasions of training and mastery of our learning management system. There are quite a lot of exciting features that we shall master through time as skills that we can develop together. So expect that UAFlex would offer a more encompassing learning experience. It will focus on the design and delivery of programs, courses, and learning interventions that address learners' unique needs in terms of pace, place, process, and products of learning, and many other things. In other words, students will be treated as more mature agents in the process of learning. School will no longer be the same, but perhaps, and I strongly believe, it may even be better. UA has provided capacity building and series of training for our faculty members, as well on the what, why, and how of flexible learning. We have placed a user-friendly learning management system that can manage the modules and resources our teachers have been assiduously and sedulously preparing the past months. We are ready, despite the many uncertainties that may come our way. The more important value is that we are all ready to learn even more. Yes, your teachers are still learning like you. We are all students engaged in a lifelong learning process. We now prepare for the coming school year. Let us anticipate with much hope and enthusiasm, maybe a little excitement, what this future brings. Let us allow UAFlex to surprise us all. In the meantime, we will continue to limit the physical interaction of students and faculty in school premises. We will be sharper in looking at our health protocols, crisis management, and even communication plans. Let us hope and pray that health situation can change significantly in the coming months as testing expands, additional laboratories are certified, and more quarantine centers are established. Of course, the vaccine cure can be convincingly and genuinely accessible to all. In case you appear in the university for urgent needs or reasons, the 1-meter rule of physical distancing, especially in common spaces such as the entrance and exit points or bathrooms, will also be observed. The wearing of masks and the provision of alcohol shall be mandatory. So now, I bid you all my warmest regards and steady prayers in this time of pandemic. Education continues, and we are here to serve you. Two other members of the UAFlex committee will now enlighten you about the grandness and marvel of the University of the Assumption Flexible Learning Experience. Dr. Dexter Balahadya will talk about the uniqueness of this instruction, and Dr. Joey Suba on the learning management system. So may God bless you all. I bid you all the best. Glory to God, Inhale Assumption. This is Father Oliver Yalong, one of your UAFlex servant leaders.
Thank you very much, Father Oliver. In terms of teaching and learning, the UAFlex system engages the teachers to be dynamic, creative, and innovative in carrying out instruction through various means. Hence the term flexible pedagogy. Human interaction through lectures and discussions shall be conducted online through virtual meetings, webinars, teleconferences, and video chats. Thereafter, students may work offline to continue their learning exercises at their own pacing and choice of strategies. The COVID-19 pandemic may have brought about drastic changes and various complications that have held us within the confines of our homes. However, the UAFlex system sees a lot of learning opportunities amid this crisis. We may be compelled to stay home, but we've been with our families so closely for the past 5 months and have built stronger ties with them. We may be disallowed to attend classes in UA, but we can always try other possible and safe forms of teaching and learning and achieve the same results. We cannot meet our friends and classmates to learn together and collaborate the usual way, but we have the internet with thousands of applications and tools to be used to make things happen for the future. And we may have been blocked and isolated physically, but because we value resiliency, we rely on our creative and resourceful self to freely explore new opportunities and learn better. So you see, it's not the end of teaching and learning. This is just the beginning of an emerging perspective of how learning should take place. As our way of adapting to these changes, allow me to share to you the 3-tiered flexible pedagogy in the UAFlex platform. We begin by having the adaptive attitude by getting excited to try the new wave in teaching and learning. We transcend to empower ourselves to practice the standards provided to us by our teachers during the online instruction. We will be allowed to be as dynamic as we can, especially in performing the modules and in presenting our learning outputs. Say goodbye to those one-size-fits-all academic requirements where students need to accomplish all the same projects. Say hello to differentiated assessment where you can be as creative and personal as how you want to present your learning evidences. Flexible pedagogy is so far the most globally accepted educational approach where teaching and learning jive with the so-called new normal. Instruction utilizes the blended learning approach in a variety of modes of delivery, such as working from home, modular instruction, independent study, using online resources instead of the usual lectures, computer-based assessment and digital testing, webinars, virtual meetings, and teleconsultations. In the UAFlex system, the pedagogical highlight is the modular instruction, among others. It is actually the usual classroom interaction with the teacher, but it is transcribed into modules. They are periodically accessed from your UA Google Classrooms together with other learning resources and content. You will accomplish the modules offline according to your flexible terms. The modules are specially crafted by our teachers as if they personally instruct us in the discussion, procedures, activities, and even assessments. The success of the UAFlex pedagogy mainly sits on you, our dear students. We just have to believe that things happen for a purpose. Let us be optimistic that there are better opportunities amidst the difficulties we face. Let's have that foresight to clearly imagine our desired outcomes of learning and stick with them. Let's trust one another that we can make things work together by sharing a common vision. And for that, we can truly say, all together, we can flex a difference.
All systems go at the University of the Assumption. Learn faster and smarter. Prime technology will be used in delivering online experience at UA. UA partners with Google for Education to deliver content knowledge and implement dynamic pedagogy. All teachers and students have their exclusive G Suite account using the domain at ua.edu.ph to access various applications and devices in undertaking the teaching and learning experiences such as Google Mail, Classroom, Meet, Docs, Sheets, Slides, Forms, Calendar, and many more. What is the difference of G Suite for Education versus personal free Google applications? Google's set of tools benefits are unlimited compared with free applications. Learn faster and work smarter is the premium goal of Google Suite. With G Suite, you're in control because of automatically backup in the cloud. In the university, we will use flexible learning using learning management system and video conferencing applications. Various platforms and softwares will be used by faculty members in delivering classes, whether online or offline, or even self-directed activities. Teachers can save time and better engage their students by using Google Classroom to send assignments and resources digitally. If we are talking about security and privacy, is trust. Google is committed to building products that help protect student and teacher privacy and provide best-in-class security measures. That's how we flex in the University of the Assumption. G Suite and UAFlex working together in delivering classroom instruction easier, fun, and engaging. Stay safe online with UA and G Suite.
Let's continue learning. See you on August 10.